Wolfgirl here, and I'm finally coming with the Bittersweet Babies backstories. Took me long enough, I know. You guys have been waiting like a year for this. I am extremely sorry I stalled on this. I had gotten Robin when I was about to actually, make this video, and then I was like, okay, I better introduce her first. And then I wound up getting Coral, and after that, I knew I was going to be getting Zillis for Christmas, and I was just like, no. I'm gonna wait until I get Zillis, and then I'm gonna film this. And I just recently posted the episode of Bittersweet where Zillis was introduced, so now I can finally film this video. Since it has been a year since I last, filmed the baby's backstories or anything, I was actually thinking I'd do one more part to this, but kind of miscellaneous. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. I was actually thinking about doing some of the backstories of other Bittersweet characters like Rogalang, Serena, rabbits that you see, if you guys want that. I've also gotten a few more other kids since that time, so I need to do their backstories as well. Like Charlotte, Lucas, even though that's just an example, even though you already pretty much know their whole backstory, but I'll probably still put it in the video anyway. And I've actually changed a few backstories since then. But let me know if you guys want that last little part of touch-ups and whatever. Okay, enough yammering, let's get into this. I don't know why I chose to do that, but Okay, first up, Thorin and Arvin. I actually have a gotcha video all about their backstory, and it's on my second channel, so I will leave a link in the description. The description of that video has their whole backstory written out if you want to read it, but I'm just going to brush over it here. Once you're done with this video, you can go watch the other one. Arvin and Thorin did not have very good parents, so one day, Arvin, this really cute child right here, decided that they were gonna run away. So she was like, nah, let's get out of here. And they left. And yeah, they left. Thing is, corruption runs in Arvin's family, so this whole time, while all this is happening, like them running away and what I'm about to explain, she was just slowly getting more and more corrupted, and the trauma she'd experienced, it was kind of turning her evil. So they ran off into the woods, and after a while of being in the woods, a hunter had shot them both, and they both fell under a time spell. So that whole situation's really complicated, because sometimes I say they're over 100 years old, but at the same time they were basically in limbo, so you can still say that he's 2, she's 5, whatever. Thorin just evaporated, pretty much. I'm sorry. Arvin woke up in the first dimension, called for help, and wound up being put into an orphanage, which is actually the same one Edoras was in. When she finally got adopted, she was brought back to the second dimension, to the capital of Sarengen, which was Arvindale, and she was put into a magic school. And that's where she met Rydrin, Brave, Ivory, Cardalin, the whole crew, yeah. And by then she was fully corrupted. There was no going back. She was just done. And after some time had passed, for her pleasure, she decided that she was going to share her corruption with Rydrin to make him suffer, so this poor boy is corrupted. And for those of you who don't know what corruption is, it's another aspect of my lore. It's basically a disease that kind of turns you into a demon, but also doesn't. Being corrupted and being a demon are slightly different. I can make a video on corruption and other lore of the second dimension if you guys want. Comment if you want that video as well. Wow, I'm just spitting out videos left and right here. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to link their full backstory in the description if you want to watch the video and read the whole thing out better. Yeah, anyways, carrying on. Okay, as I'm recording this, I literally just finished the video. I'm really sorry for the shaky camera, and I realized there is something I forgot about Thorin. Oops. This wasn't in the backstory video, because this is more of Thorin and Brave and other kids. Basically after some time, he got alive. He basically respawned back in the schoolyard, and word got out. Arvin's new adopted parents adopted Thorin, but because Thorin is very young and tiny and impressionable, Arvin was able to kind of manipulate him into being really mean to Brave's little sister. That's not his own doing. Arvin told him to do it because she told him that he should do it. Thorin felt really bad, and he feels really bad now that he knows that all of Brave's siblings, including her little sister, are probably dead. Well, they are dead. Cardalin and Brave, the iconic cousins. Okay, so Brave is a midnight angel. Midnight angels are kind of known to be the guardians of the night, They bring dreams to sleeping people. That's one of the things they do. Keep people safe. There are two types. Shadow Chasers and Star Gliders. Star Gliders are meant to be the good ones. Shadow Chasers are meant to be the evil ones. Brave is a Shadow Chaser, but obviously she's not evil, she just has darker magic. Therefore, she too is also partially corrupted because of her species. It's genetic corruption. Brave had an older sister, an older brother, and a younger sister and a younger brother. Those two little siblings of hers were twins. All five of them lived with their parents. Everything was fine and dandy. They were happy. Everything was great. And one day a huge fight broke out between the Shadow Chasers and Star Gliders, and a lot of Shadow Chasers were killed along with most of Brave's family. She's like the only survivor. Of course, there are chances that a couple of her siblings could still be alive, but those chances are pretty much down to zero. Before her older brother died, she was given a bracelet, which she's not wearing right now. I don't have her wear it a lot because it falls off and I don't want to lose it. Her brother also told her that in order to be safe and not be targeted next, she would have to escape to the first dimension, which is what she did, and that's how she came here and met Wendy. She lived here for a little while before moving back to the second dimension and hiding in Ivory's basement, but that's a whole other story. Yeah, that's pretty much it. She lived a happy life, and then her family was killed, so she dropped out of school and fled to a completely different dimension. Since Brave lost her brother, who was a sibling closest to her, that's why she calls Milo her brother, because Milo actually reminds her a lot of her brother, because they were very similar in personality. Very sad, I know. And then we have Cardalin, who's quite the opposite of Brave. His parents were garbage. So he was a good kid, in the very beginning. And his parents kind of didn't want anything to do with him. So when these two would go to school, sometimes he wouldn't come home. He would stay with Brave. And the thing is, he too is also corrupted because he is part Shadow Chaser, Midnight Angel. We know the drill already. So basically this kid, like Arvin, was also slowly just developing corruption and suffering with it. But unlike Arvin, it didn't completely turn him evil. It did kind of desensitize him a little bit, so he's not exactly the nicest person, but he didn't turn evil because of it. Now, when he was in school, he actually dated Rydrin, that child right there. They're not dating anymore. During that time, he kind of had an evil break and was really just not so great to Rydrin. He still has a bit of hatred towards Rydrin and pretty much anyone who likes Rydrin. He's calmed down a bit, so he's not the most evil character I have. He's just in a lot of pain. Here's Zephyr. Another Midnight Angel, Shadow Chaser with a lazy eye. Her older sister is one of my friend's kids. That would be Kadra, Zoe's kid. And, their parents, kicked the bucket. So they lived with their not-so-great aunt, and technically in Bittersweet, I still have her living with her abusive aunt. But most of the time, I just have her hang out at the Underground Society, because who wants to live with their mean aunt? Okay. Next up, Erebor. She is definitely a very interesting character. So what you guys can see from Bittersweet, she's definitely very wise, and has a bit of a monotone voice, doesn't seem to react much. She could be a little bit intimidating, but I assure you she's really just a cinnamon roll. So Erebor is hardly even a living thing. Magic works in weird ways in the second dimension, so basically she was spawned from darkness. Like, obviously magic didn't just go, there you go, now you're alive. She was a bit of an experiment. Some young wizards in training kind of messed something up, but obviously she didn't happen just, in that second. Magic just very slowly formed, and then it was just like, patoo, you exist now. So, she's old. She's over 700 years old, but she's been in this form since day one. She has not aged and will never age until she decides to go back into basically shadows. It's really hard to explain. Wow. There's not really too much to say about her backstory. We could be here for ages and ages and ages because she's lived 700 years in this magical dimension. She's basically experienced everything under the sun. This is Coral and she's extremely boring. She lived a normal life. Nothing weird happened to her. Okay, this is Ivory, and she isn't even from the second dimension, or this one. She's actually from Equestria. She's a My Little Pony character. In her pony form, she was a unicorn. But her parents lived, a normal life. And then they decided Equestria wasn't for them, so they moved to the second dimension where they basically turned to human form so they can pursue a different life. And not too long after that, her parents got divorced, so her mom lives in Equestria. She doesn't see her mom very often, and her dad just doesn't care. He's a bit of a alcoholic. So she just lives in her father's basement and has whoever come into her father's basement because her father doesn't know and he doesn't care. But if anyone interacts with him, as in any of these children, he'll probably whoop them. She was actually one of the main people who tried to convince Rydrin to dump Cardalin, which Rydrin didn't. They were dating for the longest time. So she got heavily involved with this, and so did Adagio. We'll get to that later. So she kind of gets a little ticked easily, especially by Milo. So, yeah. Okay, this is Robin. She is triplets with Baby Cutie's kids, River and Raven. I forgot their names for a second. And I think Baby Cutie's is another kid whose name that I cannot remember, that they're either siblings or cousins with. I don't remember her name, but there's another one that exists. They're from Middle-earth, which is another fantasy dimension I did not make up. It's from Lord of the Rings. They're from Mordor. And they're lore masters. Or something like that. I can't remember which one Baby Cuties wanted to make them. Oh my goodness, this is terrible. So from what I know of, their older sibling cousin just kind of existed and went with the flow, but Raven had struck Robin on accident while practicing magic and thought she had eliminated her from existence. Sorry, I forgot the word for eliminate. But of course, Robin was alive. She was just kind of taking a nap. But Raven got upset and ran away, so River went with her, and they wound up in this dimension. Robin just woke up after a very long nap of eons, and then was like, wait, where am I? And then she decided to yeet as well, because my kids have no logic, wow. And then after being reunited, she decided she was going to move to the second dimension, because, magic, amazing. And she met Zephyr there, and they are BFFs. They are best friend goals. Okay, Zephyr, go take a nap somewhere else. Okay, Claudia. Her story is still a little bit of a secret because I'm not ready to fully uncover it just yet. But I will tell you one thing. Her father was garbage. He was in multiple relationships, and whatever kids came from those relationships, he just kind of left behind. But Claudia stuck with him the whole time, and she is his eldest. And then he remarried to Adagio's mother. Now, speaking of Adagio, let's move on to her. So Adagio is Rydrin, Zela, and Sparrow's cousin. So, her mother is their aunt, and she remarried, so now they have a new uncle, who sucks. So Adagio is half angel, because her birth father was an angel. Her father came down to Earth because he got a mission, and he was bored, so he stuck around for an insanely long time, and that's how Adagio came into the picture. And then he decided he was going to stay on Earth. Because, now he had Adagio and he didn't want to leave her. But while he was on a mission or fulfilling something, because obviously there's been this really long war that's been on and off for about 200 years, and it's actively going on right now in Bittersweet, he wound up getting killed. Of course, you can't really exactly kill angels. They just kind of go back to heaven. And everyone who was involved with the killing was cursed. But that meant Adagio's mother was now a single mother. So she remarried. And with this new dude came Zillus. This is Zillus, and it's kind of funny to think because he is half siblings with both of them. Because these two have the same mother, but not the same father. And these two have the same father, but not the same mother. Nothing extraordinary happened to him. He just exists. And he's terrible. He's garbage. He's a garbage human. Mainly because his father taught him to act that way, but, yeah, he's not interesting at all. And the three of them go to the same magic school that this one go to. Oh, this one also attends. Yeah. Okay, lastly, oh, wait, hold on, where's Arnor? Okay, sorry, this is Arnor. He is their baby brother. But the three of them, they're triplets. They were all born at the same time. Rydrin is the oldest triplet. They're the children of a king, so since he's the oldest, he is going to be future king. So when they were really little, Sparrow was kidnapped. Carlin's family. They were actually trying to go for Rydrin, but she got in the way, and they got her instead. And that their plan kind of failed, so they were just like, okay, oops. So they tried to put a memory spell on everyone who really interacted with her. It only worked on the children, so like these two, Adagio was very involved with them, obviously, because, you know, cousins. Claudia wasn't in the picture yet, and neither was Zillis. But it kind of worked on the younger ones, but, you know, not really. They still had faint memories of their sister. And then she was basically kind of like a servant on the farm that Carlin's uncle person lived on. Like, uncle, that's what I meant by family. As for these two, Zila got jealous of her brother's position, even though he really doesn't feel like he's special. He does not like what his future position is going to be. So she got really jealous, so she was mean to him for the longest time. And nobody liked her in magic school. She made, like, one friend, and that was it. Okay, 2 friends. Neither of them are my kids. But she's different now, she's changed, and, yeah, they get along and they're besties. Is that a stain or is that a leaf? It's a leaf. Poor Rydrin. He hates his position, his father is strict on him, he had to date, that rag. His kingdom is now at war. And, yeah, life isn't too great to him, but it's somewhat looking up now. Oh, did I forget to mention he's also, fully corrupted. Rest in peace. He looks kind of sunburned right now because I put blush on him because he kind of looks weird without it. I need to fix it, but he doesn't look sunburned in real life. It's just my camera. Yeah, I basically kind of already explained his backstory through my other children that were involved with him. So, there's still part of relief here. So, Zila not liking him made him upset. When they finally went to school, they went their separate ways. He made friends. That's where he met Brave. He met Ivory basically on the streets. He was with his mother, and she was with her father before he turned yucky. But, you know, anyways. Yeah, and then Brave introduced him to Cardalin. He and Cardalin were friends, and then it became more, and then Cardalin turned yucky as well. It took Rydrin forever to get rid of him because this kid is sad and lonely. Ugh. And everybody was pretty much fed up with Cardalin and Rydrin because Rydrin could not seem to get rid of Cardalin. And when I mean everyone, I mean his friends were just kind of done with it. Erebor was done with it. She wanted to just throw Cardalin into limbo. Adagio was done with it. And, yeah. And finally, this is Arnor. He doesn't have too much of a backstory yet because he's still pretty fresh in this world. But, you know, he's small, he's a little baby. When he's not at home with his parents, he goes places with Rydrin and Zila and Sparrow. And Adagio and Claudia. Because Adagio loves taking care of this kid the same way she used to help take care of the triplets. Yeet. Whew, and that is it. We are done. My camera won't focus. So, thanks for watching. Please click like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, and down in the comments below, let me know whose backstory was your favorite. And also let me know if you want me to do that other backstory video. And also let me know if you want me to do a video about the lore of the second dimension. Because I can do a video about corruption, and there's also other things. There's, like, magic frequencies and stuff, so yeah, I can do a video about that. If you want to know more about Arvin and Thorin's backstory, once again, there's a link in the description, so you can go watch the video and read the story in the description of that video, if you want more details, but yeah. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.